Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Dr. Jones, my friends, fellow classmates, my name is Allison Miron. Today I'm going to be talking about the stages of relationships. Have you ever been attracted to someone and you thought maybe they are the one?
Yeah.
And what attracts you to them? Their body appearance, personality, same interests? Sometimes it's all three that bring us into the attraction to the person. But do you ever wonder if it's just infatuation or if it's something more? I'm going to walk you through the different stages of relationships. I've been in a few relationships, some not quite meaningful, some were actually pretty serious, but then in the end I wondered if it was really seriousness all the time or if it was just lust. The first stage that we're going to talk about is infatuation stage. After that, you move on to the molding and happy stage. And then after that, it's the commitment and fully trust stage. The first stage is infatuation. It starts with attraction. You were brought to the person with maybe how they looked. They gave off that wow factor. They were just gorgeous or handsome, or maybe you guys had some common interests. You like to play the same type of sport, the same game. You read the same books. Once you get past the initial attraction, your body starts going into full body euphoria. And all you want to do is spend time together. You can't be without that person. You don't see any flaws in them. There's no red flags. Everything is perfect. After the infatuation stage, you move on to what's called the molding stage. In there, you begin to notice their flaws. They have little quirks that you don't like anymore. Maybe they chew too loud. Maybe they sleep funny. They snore. You have your own expectations of what you want the person to be, and you start to change them into someone else to fit your personal needs. Maybe you want to change their hair. You don't like their hair color. You don't like the clothes they wear. So you start trying to fit them to what you want. Sometimes in a relationship, when this happens, a dominant role comes out. Either the man takes charge of the relationship, or if it's a female. If you're both trying to be the dominant person, things start to change. And that's when things get rough in the relationship. Once the dominant role is taken place, you move into the happy stage. You feel connected. You feel like you guys are a perfect match and no one can take that person's place. After that, you move into the stage of complete trust and commitment. This is the most important stage. You went through all the battles, the trials, you went through hard times, you went through good times, but in the end, you figured out what worked the best for you. You love each other 100%. You completely trust each other. You don't need to worry about if your girl is going out with other guys or vice versa. You understand that they have friends of the opposite sex, and there's trust that there's not going to be any cheating in the relationship. And even with a busy schedule, you find time for each other. You spend that quality time that you need to keep your relationship strong. During this stage, you can also predict each other's behaviors and decisions. You can sense when something is wrong just because their body appearance changes or they start losing interest in something that they once loved with you. Communication becomes easier because you can read that person. You're able to talk more about what is going on and you're able to fix stuff easier. And then you find out you are completely happy. You realize this person is the one. You're completely compatible and there's not going to be anybody else for you. You begin to feel the feelings of everlasting love, security, and attachment. Nobody's going to take that person's place. During this stage also, that is when you start to develop goals for your relationship. Careers, where you're gonna move, if you're gonna buy a house. In this stage too, you also start to decide if you want to have children, if you wanna carry on your family name, if you wanna get married. And then also in this stage, you decide if you wanna be together forever, or if you just want it to end. Is there any questions at this point? Yes.
Okay, so, when you're going over, the molding stage,
Yes.
as opposed to like the perfectly happy stage, would, when you were talking about being completely happy, you said, you know, there's no other person for you. Is that the result after molding or prior to?
After.
And do you feel that could be slightly toxic in the sense that, you know, you're molding the person to suit your values and your needs?
Absolutely, I believe that it can be toxic, because if you change the person completely, then that person is no longer the same person you were initially attracted to, because you start to change everything about them.
Okay. I'm satisfied.
Any other questions? It is important to figure out what stage you are in your current relationship. Because, as he had pointed out, if it becomes toxic, it's not a good relationship. You're either gonna grow together, or it's gonna falter. And if it does falter, you can always start over. It's never too late. You can always find someone new. We're all young. Even older people can find someone new. It's never too late to find love. And the biggest stage is to remember where you stand. It's the infatuation stage, the molding and happy stage, and the stage of complete trust and commitment. And thank you for asking your question. I hope my answer helped.